and welcome to the Bad Squirrel Speaks. Today is Monday, November 5th, and this is episode 37. And if you've ever watched the show before, that you know that I cannot get the name of the show, the date of the show, and the episode number correct on the first take, because I never do. This is actually like take 3, because I've rambled on random things already so many times. But oh my gosh, hi! How are you? I'm Amy Beth, also known as the Fat Squirrel on Ravelry and Plurk, and you can find show notes for this show if I talk too fast or talk in a weird voice and you can't hear what I'm saying, or maybe I just don't even know what I was going to say and I forgot about it, but you can find those show notes at www.thefatsquirrel. Did you hear the dot in there? .thefatsquirrel.com. That's where they are. Hello to returning viewers. Hi, new people. It's always like this. It's jazz hands all the time. This week has been crazy. Not really that crazy, but crazy fun. That's what matters. It was Halloween and time change in the US. Okay, by the way, I totally did not even know until I was with my international community of knitters that people in different countries change their times at different times. Why am I so naive? I am so unworldly, yo. So Midwestern. But anyway, they do. So this was the US's time to time change. And we did. And I know it's totally cheesy and trite and like everybody has had the thought already, but I'm just going to say it anyway. Where are my 25-hour days? Because that was awesome. Awesome. I'm signing the petition. The voting day is tomorrow. Where have the campaigners gotten up on this? Because if the presidential nominee will guarantee me one 25-hour day a weekend, okay, I really wouldn't sign away my life for that. But I'm just saying it would be a nice bonus. Might make me reconsider. Actually, it wouldn't. Although maybe. I am selfish. But anyway, no, it really wouldn't. Revision. But maybe they could both offer it. That would be really great. I got so much done. It was awesome. It was not awesome when my kid woke up at 5 a.m. on Sunday. That was kind of less than awesome. But I got a lot of stuff done because of it. I mean, I'm just, Okay, so maybe I should stop just not even talking about anything. Oh, wait, this is the show. Tricked you. So Halloween was fabulous. My daughter went, she decided that she wanted to be a witch this year. Cool. I think she just wanted to be a witch because she wanted to carry a broom. I think that's the only reason. Oh, and the green face paint. She was super psyched about the green face paint. I don't like the green face paint. I am not an artisty. I mean, I just am not an artisty mom. Because when I put green face paint on my kid, she just looks crazy. I mean, straight up, like, crazy. Plus, her costume was from Goodwill. That might have not helped. Shush, it's old school Halloween. Go to Goodwill and find a costume. Kid looks crazy. She's still happy. People won't be like, no, you can't have candy because your costume is not fancy. No, they're just like, wow. Maybe that girl doesn't have a home. We should give her more candy. So we went to Goodwill like a few weeks ago. And we're looking for a black dress for her because I figured she's a bigger, she's 5, almost 6, but like sometimes she can wear a women's size small t-shirt, like if it's one of those super shrinky shirts, which I don't even understand how that's possible that a woman, because my kid is not a big kid. I mean, she's a tall kid, but she's not like big. Not like me. She's just tall. So, but anyway, so when she can wear the size small, I'm like, I can't believe an adult human being is actually this big around, and that trips me out. But whatever, that's another rant for another day. So anyway, so we went to Goodwill and looked in the adult section because I figured there's not going to be like a funny black dress in the kids section, and there wasn't because we double checked. But all of the adult section dresses that were black were like bosomy, so that didn't work. But luckily, somebody had just dropped off like an entire cartload of, I don't even know what they're called, and I should probably research this so I could sound like all multicultural and awesome, but I'm not. So here we go. You know those like long tunics that the East Indian women wear? I'm sure other people wear them too, but that's what I associate with. Like the beautiful, like long, and they're split up so they can walk because they have the fancy swooshy pants. Anyway, so somebody donated like 20 of those, and they were completely bedazzled. mean, not bedazzled in a tacky way, just like bling everywhere on them. I secretly wanted to buy them all. They're all like this big. I don't even, again, how does an adult human that big? Um, but so I wanted to buy them all because they're gorgeous. Gorgeous. But we found one that was black and was covered in sparkly stuff, like sequins and rhinestones and mass insanity. So I was like, dude, do you want to be a sparkly witch? And she was like, do I get to wear green face paint? I was like, just like, I'm sorry. She signed the dotted line. That's what she was. Except it was cold. Well, actually, the other stipulation was that she got to wear stripy socks, which, of course, yes, stamp of approval from Mama. So she totally wore that, but because it's cold, I made her wear a hoodie underneath of it. So she has like this black fleece hoodie with like bright polka dots all over it, which totally ruined the effect of her costume. But it was awesome. So she had her black witch hat with a fake gray wig in it, and also from Goodwill, yay. And her crazy, awesome Indian tunic of sparkle-tasticness, and then crazy stripy knee socks with bats on them, and a broom. She was a hot mess, but it was great. And this is the first year that she was like, yes, let's move. Like our friends were with us, and they were just like, do, because they're normal humans. And like the kids are just like, yay, my kid is like, at the lead of the vanguard, is just like, let's go. I gotta go. Let's go. Which was awesome. I am going to go ahead and turn down the brightness on my monitor right now, which you might see some weird lighting changes because the background just changed to green, and I noticed that I looked kind of green, and it was kind of weird. And I might still look green. I don't know. I can't tell right now because my monitor brightness is all the way down. Anywho, I should probably change the background, but I don't ever think about it. Anyway, so it was fabulous. And I think those were all the shenanigans of the week. We had people over for brunch yesterday. It was awesome. I love brunch. But really, that was all the shenanigans. But I have lots and lots to talk about, so I'll just get right into it. Oh my gosh. Finished objects. Last week I was telling you about the cutie patootie silly Frou and her cutie patootie Grammy, who is very sick. And her Grammy has always knit hats for charity. Well, she's always done knitting for charity. This year she's doing hats, and her goal was to get to 100 hats. She was already at 40, but she's been given a very poor diagnosis, and so she was afraid she wouldn't get to her 100 goal. So the adorable and lovely Silly Frou put out a call for knitters to make some hats and send her way so that she could make sure Grammy got to her goal. And of course she's already at her goal because you people are awesome. Golf clap. But I'm just going to add to the awesomeness and just send some more hats. So this is hat numero 1. You were seeing me work on it last week. I did finish it up. This is just made, the stipulation was that they needed to just be dark colors. This I know isn't really dark, but it's a little darker in real life. Just as much dark-ish colors. And machine washable. Plain stockinette is a-okay. So, numero 1. This is Vanna's Choice acrylic leftovers. And then numero 2. Yay! So I sent those to Silly for this week. We loved her Grammy and her as they go through this time together. So sad. Oh, okay, I'm not going to think about it right now. Let's not get into personal sadness. Okay. Finished object number 2. Last week you saw me working on slippers. Oh, the hat patterns. That was Jared Flood's Turn a Square and then random made-upness. Works it away. Last week you saw me also working on the Sunday slippers. And that is a pattern that was donated to me by the designer, Laura Neal. And she is the host of the Math for Knitters podcast. Did I say that right? Yes, I am. And yeah, so she donated that pattern for me to review. And I will show you the finished project. Are you ready? Ah, so cute! There's the bottomses. There's the topses. I was a little worried about this perimeter. But I was afraid it wasn't going to... Oh, look at it. It stays up so nice, though. Yay. These are knit with unknown yarn. I know, I'm so helpful to you, right? But it's 3 strands of sport weight held together, knit on size 11 needles, and then felted. So the first cycle, actually, I felted them twice in the machine with loads of laundry, and that really did not felt them at all. So then I broke down, wasted some water, and just put them in with a pair of jeans, and then that felted them a lot. Oopsie. So they are just actually, they might be a wee bit too small for the recipient. So I'm going to probably wet them and try to stretch them before they get there. I mean, they're just like they're like half a centimeter too small. So I think it'll be okay. I can always reknit them after Christmas if she's like, "Arr." But anyway, so they turned out very cute. I'm very pleased with them. As I mentioned last week, I have knit a variety of slippers, including the duffers, the ones by Fiber Trends, the felted clogs, and I forgot this mentioned last week, felted moccasins from the book Felted Knits, I think is what it is. Whatever. This is by far the easiest of those options. It was super duper easy. I originally was going to knit slippers for everyone on my list this year, all of my friend people on the list. I changed my mind because A, that sounded insane, and B, my dear woman friend who is the fiber friend decided to make her family slippers for Christmas. So I was like, oh, I don't want to like get up in her grill and like be up all like slippery competition-y style. So I revisioned that plan. Revised. Whatever. Revisioned. But I could have totally knit everybody these slippers because they are super easy. Yay them. So that is a finished object. I think that's all I have to say about that. Okay, next finished object. Oh, you saw this last week too. Oh no, you didn't see this because I couldn't find them. Little tiny booties. These are the Bernat baby booties knitted, but they don't have a designer listed on the pattern. But they're just a real plain booty. But oh my god, aren't they cute? I will confess that one of them I knit, the first one I knit was like way bigger than the second one. Now the pattern's fault. I don't know what I did. So I had to actually unseam the bottom and then rip out a bunch of rows, or not really a bunch, like 2 rows of the garter. I think I just like added an extra toe shaping row or something crazy. I don't even know what I did. But now they're so cute. Look how cute they are. The baby fever is going on. Oh my gosh. Is it because it's getting winter and we're all like nesting? But I don't know what's going on. Everybody's getting babies. Not me. Not me. So that's finished object number 2. I know, it's epic. Next finished object. Oh, that was actually 4. Oh my gosh, I finished some stuff. Makes me so happy. This, of course, is Weeb the Zombie Dude. Of course, by the amazing, super fabulous Amy of the Stockinette Zombies, who has made my life so full by offering this pattern because these stupid things are so stinking cute. Do you see how cute he is? He is knit with some hand spun from the lovely people at Sheep Street Studios. I mean, the fibers from them. His sweater is made, I really had trouble with his sweater this time. His sweater is made with Noro. I have no idea color what. It's the worsted weight pure wool one, which is like the whatever. And of course his eyes are the beautiful Pine Tuning Crafts people. How awesome is she with her cues and buttons? This is the 1.5 inch apple, and this is a spruce, which I think is about 1 inch. But oh my gosh, do you love him? Do you love him? Really, so stupid cute. My daughter would not stop playing with him. I was like, dude, that is not for you. She was like, I was like, you don't want to be scratchy. He's not really scratchy, people. He's scratchy to a 5-year-old who lives on a pile of mattresses and is disturbed by a pea, I guess. Anyhow. But I was like, I knew that would get her to be like, no, it's not mine. Isn't it cute? This time I put marbles in his bottom just to give him a little extra weight. And they were discards. And he is stuffed with, actually, he's stuffed with wool because I had some random roving that I had dyed a long time ago that did not go well. Crazy colored. That I was just never going to do. So I just swooshed that up and stuffed him. So yay! He weighs a lot. I think because of the roving instead of fiberfill. He's very heavy. Anyway, he's for a friend for Christmas. Yay! And he's super cute. So there we go. I don't know. I feel like I'm off today. Am I off? I feel off. I was so excited and now I'm suddenly confused. Okay, I'll get back in it. So that's all the finished objects. On to website podcast. Okay, so I already talked about the Sunday morning slippers. I'll just show you these. These are the next size up. These are going to be for the mama of the, these are of course not felted yet. I don't know anybody with, well, my husband's feet actually might be that big. But these are for the mama. They need to be felted, but they are completed otherwise. They are also 3 strands of the random mystery sport weight, potentially rug yarn, held together with a strand of Cascade Eco in just that color, natural, buff, whatever. So yay! These need to be felted. We'll see what happens. Okay, so next work in progress. I'm knitting a Thorpe hat for my grandmother because when I was visiting her last time, she tried on my daughter's Thorpe hat just to be silly, and it looked amazingly cute on her. Like, since I'm a terrible podcaster and I don't even have the... Well, this is useless to you. I thought I had the extra ball in here to tell you what this yarn is, but I am useless. So we'll just do this really quickly, but isn't that pretty? Yay, I'll show you next week. I really did think I was more prepared this time. Okay, next work in progress. I am, whoa, sorry, I'm disappearing. I'm still here, don't worry. The next one is the Hippo pattern. This is a free pattern, and I apologize. I've just realized that the woman's name is not on the pattern, but is in fact a free pattern on Ravelry, and I'll put her name in the show notes. Anyway, it's this very cute, silly hippopotamus with a giant schnoz, which I was just drawn to, like I can't even explain. And Hipponym is a, she says this, I didn't know this. A hyponym is a group of words that all belong to the same family of, like they are describing the same. For example, the example she gives is like golden retriever and corgi are hyponyms because they both describe dogs. Right on? Right on. But anyway, so I am knitting him. Again, I don't have a stinking yarn band. What is wrong with me? I'll put it in the show notes. I do have them. I need to eat lunch, obviously. I'm blaming it on that. Here's ears. This is, oh, and I will explain about this yarn even though I don't know what it is. This is yarn I bought to make my daughter something with before she was born, and I never made anything. It is like a microfiber, and it's a strange peach. So there's its ears. You ready? It looks kind of creepy right now because it's not been stuffed, but I'm starting on its rump. It looks kind of like a sad platypus. But I did do a practice stuffing of the schnoz, and it did stuff up real cute. But he looks kind of... So anyways, there he is. He still needs a butt. Beak. And I totally just ran out of yarn. But luckily, I have this random hand spun from No Makers in the Froggy Monkey colorway, which is terribly uneven and sad, but it'll work for a hippopotamus butt. I'm sure their butts are kind of uneven. Because look, it's like exactly the same color. Yay! So maybe I'll make it a sweater or something so that it's, you know, matchy. This pattern is a free pattern. It's a little bit, it's not hard to follow in terms of like complicated. I'm sorry, hair is driving me bonkers. I should have like a barrette or something, but obviously I'm a hot mess. But it is hard to follow because it's definitely one of those, it's not like knit to the stitch marker and then decrease. It's like knit 25, decrease, knit 13, decrease, knit 8, decrease. Next row, knit 12, decrease. It's very, so you can see that this is a small toy, and it is a very, it's like a 8-page pattern, and it's not just like full of pictures. I mean, it's full on. But that being said, it is not hard to do. You just have to follow along. It would be fine for like a beginner even, because there's no parts where you're like, you know what I mean? So, that being said, I love the way she does her limbs. You knit the limbs separately. So like you start down here doing Judy's Magic Cast On, knit up to here, and then you, can you see? Let me see if you can see. Yeah, you can kind of see. Then you consolidate. She names it consolidate, and she says that somebody else made that up. Whatever, I don't know. You consolidate the stitches, which is basically like you do a 3-needle bind off without binding off. Know what I mean? So you just lay this. You got your thing in a loop right here, your magic loop, or your whatever. You're knitting them around here. You clap. You just do like this next to each other, and then knit 2 together. So, yay. But the beautiful thing about that is not only do you do that to seam up your legs or to close the legs, but then you do that to actually knit them onto the body, so you don't have to seam anything except for the ears. I love that. Which also means you don't have to be like, oh my gosh, is this arm in the right place? Is this here? Should be. Oh, maybe it should be lower. Wait, oh, no. You knit 7, put on the arm. So the only thing you do have to be careful of is that you don't put the arm accidentally on the inside of the body. And as I was doing the first arm, because you do the arms first. As I was doing the first arm, I was like, how would you even do that? Oh, I just did that. Actually, I didn't quite do it, but I almost did it. Like I had it in the wrong place. And I was like, oh, I guess that's how you would do that. Exactly what I was about to do. So luckily she warns you like, hey, crazy people. So yay, I am totally enjoying that. I am out of yarn. It'll have this rump. If I had planned ahead, I would have knitted a faux sweater. I didn't plan ahead. I thought I had enough yarn. Of whatever yarn this is. But it's microfiber. So anyway, yay for that. Oh, and this is totally, have you heard, I don't know if you've heard this or not. Totally doing Crazy Cow, the Stalking of Zombies. And so like, everybody's coming up with these brilliantly crazy plans for themselves, which I love. And then I'm like, gosh, I'm not crazy. Okay, I know I'm crazy enough, but like my crazy knitting is just like knit a bunch of stuff, which it's not that crazy. But then I had the brilliant realization that one of my crazy factors could be that I am going to knit up all of the known yarn left from my pre-baby on the way knitting. You know what I mean? Like yarn I bought to make my child things before she was born and then never made them. Because I didn't know how much stuff took and I never bought enough. And okay, whatever. There's a million and one reasons I didn't get knit. But, okay, so this is my whole thing. I'm going to break it down. So whenever I knit my kid toys, I always make them pretty. Like I think they're pretty. Maybe I should make them so she thinks they're pretty. Maybe I should learn how to lose my self-centered perspective, which is what I'm always trying to tell her. Think about what the other person wants. Instead of being like, no, this is clearly the superior product and you should enjoy it. No! So instead I've decided that I'm going to take all those yarns that I've been like, I'm never going to knit with that. I'm just going to knit them up into toys. So I have like that weird microfiber stuff. I have some of the weird chenille yarn and some like super chenille. I don't even know what it is. It's like a snowball. I'm totally going to make some stuff with them. That's part of my crazy. It's like super, super deep stash. It's really 6 years old. Yay! So anyway, I didn't even know I had it, to be honest. I found it. It's not even, it was before I even started really knitting very much again in my adult life. So it was like not even with yarn. It was with, oh my gosh, this is driving me crazy. I'm so sorry. It's not even with yarn. It was like in under the bed box in her room with like some tapestry thread or something. Crazy sauce. So anyway, I'm going to knit it up. And I think she's going to love it. Because quite frankly, she was in there with me when I found it. And she found a ball of that pink super chenille, which I don't even know what it is. And she has actually been carrying it around. Like the saddest, saddest child in the world with her yarn ball toy. I kid you not. It's a Tribble, Mom. the other day. She got totally freaked out because she could not find her triple. She's crazy. Anyway, so that's going to be part of my crazy. Are you excited? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I've been so fun to read all of your crazy ideas. Oh, by the way, I have crazy pants on. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? You can't see them. Okay, I gotta figure out how I'm going to do this. Okay, whatever. I'll be right back. Woo! Ah, crazy Gnomey pants! So you can't really see any more than that. But I'm wearing them in my heart. In my heart, I wear them all the time. Because who doesn't wear Gnomey giant, crazy gnome flannel pajama pants in their heart all the time? People I like do. Anyway. So, okay, so all the crazy is crazy, crazy feast. Yay! Somebody is knitting 1,012 pairs of felted cloths for Christmas. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Oh my gosh, somebody is crocheting a crazy gingerbread house of insanity, and I am so this close to getting sucked into that one. I am this, because it comes in a kit. Could I be any more kooky for a kit? I love a kit. Something about kit on the end of anything, I'm like, oh, okay. I'm this close to making a crocheted red heart gingerbread house. I have no idea where I would even put it. My house is this big. Crazy. Whatever, I still make it. I'm this close. Yay, crazy is so fun! Okay, so then I'll show you my last crazy thing. So I'm like, I gotta totally do anything for me. I gotta do anything for everybody else. So then I just got a bunch of stuff done, and I was like, oh my gosh, I totally have a schedule. I can make something for myself. But really, that didn't even happen until after I'd already started. And I was like, oh yeah, I can totally justify this. Okay. So what really happened is that I was thinking in my head, like, okay, I'll make my papaw because I have a really super cute papaw who I love to death, but is impossible to knit for because he's so stinking particular. Do you have one of those? Do you have one of those? I love him so much that it's insane and it breaks my heart because this whole thing with Sleepy's Grammy's happening, and I'm just like, you know, grandparents are getting older. They raised me for a while when I was a kid. Anyway, but so he's super particular and he's impossible to knit for, and he never gets excited about anything except telling corny jokes. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll make him a crazy felted hat. I've decided since not to do that. I think I have another idea, but I'm not going to tell you in case I change my mind in 3 seconds. But so in the meantime, I was on Ravelry doodling around trying to find a hat pattern, and guess what I found? So easily sucked in. Brooklyn Tweed, Jared Flood. Stop making patterns. So this is the pattern Forge. I believe it is by, yeah, which is a cabled watch cap. It is in fact by Jared Flood of Brooklyn Tweed fame. By the way, can I just also discuss that Jared Flood is the reason I found by Beaver Slide Dry Goods, because he knit an Elizabeth Zimmerman Tomton for a grown-up out of it. Right? Super enabler face of him. Anyway, so let's get this stupid hat. I don't know why I just became obsessed. Obsessed with this hat. I'm totally not hip enough to wear this hat. Do you see how hipstery these people are that are wearing this? Let me show you the picture of the guy. He's super hipstery looking. I'm totally not even hip enough to wear this hat. It's gonna look ridiculous on me. Not gonna stop me from making it. Not gonna stop me one bit. So anyway, guess what? I started knitting that. I'm knitting it out of handspun. I almost knit it out of some leftovers I had from the halyard sweater, but that yarn is kind of, I don't want that around my forehead. But anyway, it would have been very pretty. So I'm knitting it out of some handspun that I made, and I have no idea who did the fiber. It was at a small fiber festival. It's like Owl Eyes colorway, whatever. But it's, I think it's Coopworth, so it's you know, it's a little scratchy. It's got some tooth to it. So you expect I'm going to pull up this hat with like this much done, right? I am a crackhead. Crack. head. Do you see this? I could not stop. I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my gosh, more. This is gonna look so ridiculous. I don't care. I've tried it on and it totally looks like I have cat ears and I'm confused. I love it. And this is the most insane pattern ever. Not insane like as in, it's very over-engineered though. I don't want to say it's over-engineered, but it's highly engineered. It's a technical pattern. You do a provisional cast on and then go back and do a 3-needle bind off because the brim is knit separately from the actual hat itself. The brim, okay, I'll start from where you start. I don't think this is telling you too much information because you should really know what you're getting in for before you start knitting this hat. For one thing, you have to have like 5 different needle sizes. It's insane. You have to have like 5 different needle sizes. It's really not hard. It's just kind of crazy. Oh, crazy cow. So you have to have like 5 different needle sizes, which luckily, of course, I have. You do a provisional tubular cast on for the brim. By the way, the instructions are given. You don't have to like go find them. It's written out. So you do a provisional tubular cast on for the brim, which I of course have not taken the waist yard on it. So then you knit the brim. Okay, so then you put that aside. Then you do a provisional cast on for the crown, knit the hat, go back, do a 3-needle bind off. I almost did the Judy's Magic cast on and I was like, no, because I really liked how it was more rigid looking. You know what I mean? Like it looked like a seam and I kind of wanted it to look like that. Still not done. Then to put them together, you do a I-cord 3-needle bind off. And I'm almost done. I really only have I have like 10 stitches still left to do. I could have obviously finished that, but then I would have had to like somehow block it and everything. I couldn't get that all done. So I was like, okay, I need to stop. But also I knitted on it a lot yesterday when we had company over because I realized too late that it was one of the few knitting projects I had that was not a gift for somebody else that was at the table. Oops. Didn't have a lot of forethought there. So, oh my gosh, it's crazy. Yay, crazy cow! Yay! But anyway, I do love it. It looks ridiculous. I don't care. I love it. Part of it is also because I went to go look for my other crazy hat. Like I have from Schoolhouse Press, they had one of the, it's a Fair Isle cap, but it was in 2 colors. But you started at the bottom, I think. So you knit like the lining in like a solid color, like a very long tube, and then you do the outside, and then you swoop them together, and then you turn up the brim, and it's insane, and I can't find it. So I needed another insane hat for a while. I was like at the bus stop, clearly. So that's all the crazy. Now I got some stuff to show you. I also want to say thank you to Bjin Designs. When I met with Sandy and her daughter Meg and the lovely Joanna from Knit Spin Farm for lunch, she gave me these lovely stitch markers to try out, and I have tried them out and I enjoy them very much. I've never had these. These always, when I look at pictures of this kind of stitch marker on the internet, this wire always looks so thick, but it's really not in real life. So anyway, I'm enjoying this very much. Thank you to her. Then I also got from the lovely Heather of Highland Handmaids, who of course also has the Fiberista files. There's nowhere to hold this little I was okay, so everybody loves her face, of course. You knew that. But I've been wanting to buy some of her fiber for a while. I just haven't let myself because I'm really, holidays are coming. I broke down. I had a moment. So this is her Superwash BFL in a predatory colorway, and I love it ever so much. I don't know why. Something about it I just really enjoyed. First I was like, it's an emperor penguin. And then I was all excited because I was like, oh my gosh, this would be the cutest hand-spun kitty cat ever. And then I climbed down off the Insano tree and was like, I'm never going to get that done. But I'm just excited about it. And it's just holidays right, I'm going to spin it up. And she sent me this lovely sample. This is her seedless colorway in her white ash base, which I like. It's a very nice single ply. I'm assuming it's worsted weight. And it's very pretty. It takes the dye very nicely. I'm excited about that. I think I'm going to knit some of those. Whatever. I'm going to knit some Christmas ornaments. Or at least one. And then, you ready? Okay, I was contacted by the owner of a little shop, Fort Wayne, Indiana, called Simply Sock Yarn. You're like, well, that's an interesting name for a shop. And I say, yes, it is. And guess what? That's exactly what it is. It's an entire store which only sells, Simply Socks. Only sells sock yarn, people. It's in my state. I've known about it. I cannot make the excuse to drive up there. It's a whole store. And because also, you know what's going to happen when you go there, right? Boom, $1 billion gone. It's Simply Socks, a yarn company, and they're in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And it's an entire, and of course they have an online store too if you can't make it. And their website is called www.simplysockyarn.com. And I was contacted by the owner, who was a lovely face, and she, of course, sent me this super cute greetings from Post Yarn, because Post Yarn is their in-house self-striping yarn that they do. So Allison contacted me on Ravelry and said, oh my gosh, there's somebody in my knitting group who said that you might like a skein of our self-striping chalk yarn to try. And I was like, oh my gosh, kiss that woman's face for me. So she sent a skein out for me to try. Thank you, Allison. Thank you, person in her knitting group who I don't even know. So this is their Post Yarn. So this is their in-house. They do this themselves, self-striping. This one particularly is 75% superwash Corriedale, which I love that they have that specified, 25% nylon, and it's approximately 393 yards for a 100 grain skein. This is the Chatham, I think it's Chatham Lighthouse Beach. And isn't this, I'm so excited to see how this goes. So she let me choose. They have lots of different options. They have team colorways. They have a certain wizarding school colorways, if you're interested in those sorts of things. And then they have several other, how would you say? I can't think of how you would say it. More mature? No, that doesn't sound right. More sophisticated? They have classier colorways. Don't you love when people say that? But anyway, they have some colorways that aren't just like super high contrast. So I am very excited about this. This is like a chocolate, like a light, like a milk chocolate. A pinkish, I wouldn't say peach. I would say more pink, like a shell pink though. Maybe like a, like it's got a little bit of brown in the pink. And then a nice teal. I'm so excited. They're more grown-up colorways. So I'm going to get that one. So anyway, you should totally try them out. I'm going to be knitting these for myself as soon as the holidays are over. My Happy New Year to me socks. Okay, so that is all for the knitting. Now, it's close to the holidays, right? Okay, so are you getting a little stressed out? That's okay. This happens to all of us. I did want to mention a few things. Somebody had asked me, actually I've had multiple people ask me, because I've mentioned that we play board games a lot in this house. Like a lot. I have a structured craft. I also enjoy structured free time. Okay, so I've had people ask me in the past if I would talk about some things that might be good gifts for kids. I know that when you don't have children, because I didn't until 5 years ago, sometimes when you do have children in your life, you're like, oh, what do I get now? Okay, so I'm going to show you 2 silly board games, and they're awesome. They're by a very small company called Family Pastimes. You can get them on Amazon or at this company's website. Of course, if you get them on Amazon, it's free shipping. So I know it's hard to turn that down. They say they're Canadian. They print with soy inks on recycled papers. So basically, they're super awesome. And they specialize in cooperative games. So this is my daughter's favorite one that they make. It's called Caves and Claws. We've had this one for at least 2 years now. So that means when we got it, she was 4. The player's suggested ages, or excuse me, is 6 to adult, and of course 1 to 4 players. However, it is a cooperative game, so you get to help each other out, which is awesome. Because A, you don't have to worry about if somebody loses, if they freak out. You don't have to worry about if somebody wins, if they freak out. And again, you get to help them and not just model strategies and logic, but actually help them walk through it one-on-one. So these are made by a very small company. They're not flashy. Game pieces are like your standard, instructions are very well written, but not flashy. The board game itself, very basic, but totally versatile. So this one in particular, you're in a rainforest and you're archaeologist and you're trying to gather all of these special objects. This is the very old pottery. There are some ancient herbs that you're trying to find. However, your search can be thwarted by the claw hand. By the way, this is so scary. By a bat. And other such things. And so the object of the game is, so this is one of the nice things, is the game board changes every time because you have all of the, and by the way, I have laminated the cards. I don't suggest doing that. It was not a good idea, but I did it because I was afraid they would get worn out, but I wouldn't do it in the future because then they slide around too much. So each time you play, you set up your board anew. So you draw these cards that lay out the pathway, the map that you'll be making. So you get to talk to the kids about logic, like, okay, so let's make it so that there's enough paths to get out of here in case they get blocked by a claw or a boulder or a tree that we can get out. Anyway, it's super fun. And you might be like, this does not sound fun at all. Every kid I have ever played with this game loves it. Crazy sauce style. It's awesome. So that is my suggestion. It retails, I think, for $15, but I think Amazon has it for $13.50 or something like that. So very affordable. The other game I would just show you very briefly from them if you have older children. This works for all ages, by the way. But if you have older children, there's another one called Let's Go Hiking. Do you love this? It is so, could be made in the 70s. It's awesome. But kids don't care. They don't understand that. Or at least mine doesn't. And this one, you are photographers hiking through the forest. And you have to make sure that the animals don't scent you because there's different cards you draw that are like, oh, you can walk 3 steps and you're very quiet on the pine needles. No animals hear you and run away. So you get to walk and sneak up on the animals to take their picture. What is that? And so that's so cute because all the cards that have the animals' pictures on them have a corresponding footprint. So then your animals, your little children also learn identification of tracks. So anyway, these are not meant to be like full-on board game reviews. You can find that information on Amazon through people's comments or on BoardGameGeek.com, which is another great resource if you're looking for board games. You can look at reviews. BoardGameGeek.com has lots of pictures, and it'll link you to any kind of video tutorials. There probably won't be for these games. Those are mostly older, like adult, like Catan and stuff like that they get those for. But you can find pictures of the board game and all the pieces and hear people's reviews. But these games are so simple looking. Again, this is another one that's a cooperative. You're doing this all together so you can help each other make decisions and say, oh no, should we use the first aid kit now or should we try to save it? Do you think we have an herbal remedy that might work? It's super cheesy and wonderful. So anyway, so you can find more information about this. But I just thought I would mention them because this is a really great company and they make a really great product. And for a very reasonable price. So how was that? Was that totally random or what? So anyway, I hope you all have a great week. If you stuck around this long. If you don't, I promise I don't blame you. Not that you're going to hear that, but I'm just putting it into the universe. And I will talk to you next week. Bye.